So I talk about it in my TEDx, and I talk about the idea of bystander intervention, because in that moment, my son was essentially saved by a bystander, right? A woman who had, had nothing to win, nothing to gain, and everything to lose from standing up for him, right? And being a voice when she was being, verbally attacked and all the things. And so that made me really want to be able to talk about things like that outside of the confines of law. And because I know as an employment lawyer, I represented companies, and I would see, what would happen with employees, and, people saying stuff or not saying stuff, and people standing up or not standing up. Those things I wanted to be able to talk about outside of the four corners of the documents, right? And the trial rules that we had. And so for me, this was a way for me to take, I always say this, to leverage my profession to pursue my purpose, right? So
Mm,
to take all of those skills, all the things that I know, right? And all the things that I knew, and instead of the things that I do as a trial lawyer, take those things and make a difference in the world. I'm always thinking about legacy, right? One of my favorite poems is The Dash, and it talks about, like, that the time between when you're born and when you die and what people are going to say about you, right? When you leave this earth. And so I'm always thinking about that. And that's what really started to come up for me. How do I talk about the humanity of people? How do I ensure that my son doesn't become the next hashtag? So that's how it all started. And so it started, with the TEDx on bystander intervention, then me teaching around unconscious bias, and now moving into high stakes communication because it's all about communication.
wow.